Nelda Brooks. My husband Craig and I are members of St. Peter's United Methodist Church in Katy, Texas, and I'm here to tell my story. Michael was my younger brother. Michael was born gay. Michael died gay. Michael was born a Methodist. Michael died a Methodist, but it was not an easy journey. Our great-great-uncle, Francis Corley, was a circuit preacher for the Methodist Church. Our entire family has been Methodist for generations. That is all we ever knew. After Michael came out as gay at age 15, he was rejected not only by his school friends, but also by his church friends and their parents. He was assured that he was not loved by God, and he therefore tried to kill himself. Thankfully, he did not succeed. Instead, he began a lifelong journey of prayer, meditation, Bible studies, and trying different religions. After playing the organ at the Baptist church, taking communion with the Catholics, and finally seeking love and acceptance as a Buddhist, Michael made his way back to the Methodist Church. Through his spiritual journey, Michael discovered that God did indeed love him very much. However, most churches did not, especially his beloved Methodist Church. In 1988, Michael was diagnosed with an advanced case of AIDS. He was not expected to leave the hospital. However, he not only left the hospital, but he lived 10 more years. He became a counselor and ministered to other AIDS victims. During this time, Michael felt alone and desired a community of faith. He wanted to be part of a congregation, to sing in the choir, and to take food to a covered dish supper. One of his colleagues took him to Bearing Memorial United Methodist Church in Houston. This became his salvation. The congregation and minister, Don Sinclair, welcomed him with all of his gayness. He did not have to be in the closet to be accepted and loved as a child of God. He was a beloved choir member and was once again a United Methodist. He had indeed come home. Michael was so much more of a Christian than I ever thought of being. He taught our 2 daughters about love, justice, and acceptance of all people. He even touched the heart of my Lubbock Church of Christ raised husband. I will never forget how Craig took care of Michael as he was dying. Our entire family circled around Michael and loved him. Reverend Marilyn Meeker Williams from Bearing Memorial United Methodist Church came to the hospice and anointed Michael's forehead as friends and family prayed. Michael had a glorious funeral at Bearing and was sung to heaven by their choir. Thanks to them, Michael died a Methodist and lives in heaven with God as a United Methodist. And yes, I have received what I believe to be messages from Michael that he is indeed in heaven and sings in their glorious choir. You see, God did not decide that homosexuality was incompatible with Christian teaching. Jesus never proclaimed homosexuality incompatible with Christian teaching. The Methodist Church did. God loves everyone. Michael was part of God's creation, and God called it good. Jesus provided an example of how to love our neighbors, all of them equally. I think we need to undo a wrong and make it right. In our Texas annual conference, there are safe places for gay United Methodists to worship and serve. There are courageous clergy and laity who reach out to welcome and love our gay members. I am so grateful for these people. I am grateful also for Breaking the Silence, a group of clergy and laity in our conference who advocate full inclusion. It is such a blessing to have a place to go for support, education, for worship and service where we can be celebrated for who God created us to be. I consider myself to be a reconciling United Methodist. I am proud to be a member of the Breaking the Silence family and to help create a denomination where all people are embraced and able to serve their church. My husband and I have been members of St. Peter's for 25 years. Recently, a lesbian couple contacted one of our associate ministers and asked if they would be allowed to join our church and if they would be welcomed and accepted. The minister cried that anyone would have to ask if they would be accepted in God's holy church. When Michael died, we passed out prayer cards like they do in the Catholic Church. That was one of the things he loved about the Catholic Church, were the prayer cards at funerals. And he also loved the rosary beads. But this was the prayer card we passed out that had his picture. And on it was the words that he had written on my last birthday card before he died. This is what he had written. And always know how much I love you. See me as I fly over during the darkest hours, carrying heaven's brightest light, calling your name, bringing you respite. This is my mission, to be a bright light, to call everyone's name, and to welcome all people as children of God into our church. I think this is what God would want. I think this is what Jesus taught. I know this is what Michael would want for his beloved United Methodist Church. I hope you will help me make this happen. Thank you.